Alright, so I'm back at the dashboard within Xero, and during this video I'm going to drill down into some of the details because there's a lot going on with this page and it's a very powerful tool, so I want to make sure you get the most out of it. And what I'll start by saying is that the dashboard is made up of a series of tiles you see here, and the default view for these tiles is you'll see the bank accounts, checking, savings, any credit cards, PayPal accounts. You'll see those along the left-hand side here to the top. And then just beneath those, you'll see a tile or module for cash flow. So this is money coming in and money going out. And then along the right-hand side, you'll see the account watch list at the top to give you a view of the data on a series of accounts that you can specify. Then just beneath that you'll see an invoices module for money coming in, a bills module for money going out, and then an expense claim module for employees if they need to be reimbursed by the company. And so this is the default view, and if you have any desire to change this, what you can do is click this little link at the bottom to edit the dashboard, and once you do, all of the tiles become dynamic, so you can drag and drop tiles to change things around. You can also click this hide button if maybe a certain tile isn't very applicable to you or you feel like it's just cluttering your page. So once you click hide and click done, it'll totally be removed from the dashboard. And if you need to bring it back, you just click edit dashboard and then click show again. And once you click done at the bottom, all your changes will be saved. So that's the main big picture of the dashboard. And what I'm going to do is go one by one through these tiles. And I'm going to start at the top right, go down, and I'll swing back to the left and go up. So this account watch list is a quick view of certain accounts. So right now we have 4 accounts showing, and this is completely customizable by you. So you basically would use this on accounts you want to keep a close eye on. Perhaps revenue, you want to see a quick glance of your performance or kind of inventory you have on hand right now. Whatever makes sense for your business, what may be expenses that you want to keep a close eye on and make sure they don't get out of hand. You would add that to this account watch list, and you do that by going to the top to settings and then to chart of accounts. And once you're over at the chart of accounts, you find a particular account that you want to keep a close eye on. Maybe you want to, maybe you want to see your loan amount and make sure that you're paying that down each month. And so what you do is you click on the loan account, and then at the bottom here you click this little checkbox to show the account on the dashboard watch list. Once you click save, we'll go back over to the dashboard and we'll hit refresh. And now you see here the loan account has been added to the watch list. So that's a handy tool. Use that if it's applicable for you. And then going down, you'll see the invoices module, which is money coming into the business. So as an Amazon seller, your invoices are going to come over on a bi-weekly basis from Seller Central via the A2X accounting software tool. And what you'll see here is there's 3 status icons. There's the draft status, which means it's waiting to be approved. Awaiting payment means it's been approved and it has not yet been connected with a payment that's hit your bank account. And then overdue means that the payout had a due date and it has yet to be paid. So that due date is come and gone and it still hasn't got paid yet. Those are the 3 statuses within Xero that you can see. And then along the bottom is an aging report that shows you, based on the date, where your invoices lie. So these are the invoices that are outstanding as of this week. These are the invoices that will be coming up in the next week or so. And then these are the past due invoices. So all the numbers on the right hand side, the awaiting payment overdue, will be shown at this aging report below. The last thing in this tile is to click New Sales Invoice, and you typically won't do this unless you're a service-based business and you need to create an invoice and maybe send that over to a client. As an Amazon seller, you're typically not going to use a sales invoice. You're mostly just going to approve invoices and match them up to payments in the bank account. And I will, of course, go through that process further down the line. And with the bills module, it's an exact mirror image. Pretty much the only thing you're going to use the bills module for is if you create bills for suppliers, that kind of thing, and I'll go into that process further down the line. Beneath bills, you will see the expense claims module. This module is how Xero processes reimbursements from the company to employees or owners. And the one thing I'll say here is you typically are only going to use this if you have employees, and if you need to reimburse yourself as the owner for expenses that you made from personal accounts, I have a different workflow that I'd recommend for you, and I'll go into that in one of the other training videos down the line. But with this expense claims module, your employees would click New Receipt to submit an expense claim, and then along the right hand side you can see the current claims, the total claims on hand. So your current claim would be specific to the user, I believe, and then total claims is as the owner across all of the users, employees, and then these are the amount of expense claims that are waiting to be authorized and then awaiting to be paid. So that module, in my experience, hasn't got used very often by Amazon sellers. So if you want to go ahead and hide that, you more than likely will be able to. So moving along to the left hand side, we see the cash flow module, and what it shows is for the last 6 months, what was the total money coming in and then the cash going out of your business. So this isn't revenue and expenses. This is actual physical cash coming in and coming out of the business. Very helpful tool there to see the flow of cash in your business. And going above, I'll wrap up the dashboard by going through the bank account tiles. So there's a lot going on here. What you see at the top left is the name of the account, and this is also a link. If you click that, it will bring you to all the past transactions you've categorized within this account. And then just below that is the account number. So this is an internal number, and it's for your viewing purposes only. And kind of a tip here is I recommend you take the last 4 digits of the account number and then go ahead and add that to the name of the account. So this would be checking account 5465. Further down the line, that will help as you do transfers and other transactions. Just kind of helpful to have the last 4 digits in the name. Beneath that, what we're going to see here is a reconciled 29 items button. So this shows you all of the outstanding items that need to be categorized based on what has been imported already. If this feed is outdated or this 29 items may not represent everything that needs to be done, but it does represent everything that needs to be done based on what's been imported so far. This graph at the bottom is going to show you an aging report of the balance in your account. So how has the cash balance in this account changed over time? And so this may or may not reflect what has actually happened in your bank account in reality, because this chart, it only follows what has been categorized. So if you have some items that haven't been categorized yet, well then this balance chart may not reflect reality. This is there for your use. That brings up a good point of what do I mean by the balance of things that have been categorized. So once you categorize items in Xero, this balance in Xero will go up and down. But then once you import items, whether through the automatic feed or through a manual import, this statement balance will go up and down. So this statement balance should reflect your actual bank account, and then this balance in Xero may or may not reflect this statement balance based on if you have items that still need to be categorized. So you can see here these balances don't match up, and that's because most likely these 29 items are the difference between. And so I'm going to go into another video to explain the difference between the balance in Xero and the statement balance. This is a very important concept, and in the next video I believe I'll go into more detail, but suffice to say that this is the balance of this account based on what's been categorized, and then this is the balance of the account based on what has been imported. This date right here, October 12th, will tell you when was the last transaction imported, so that's a really helpful little bit of information there. And then the last thing I'll say with this bank tile is that this manage button at the top right, it's kind of subtle, but it's very powerful. When we click that drop down, what it's going to do is show us a whole series of hyperlinks that go to other interfaces and other actions that can be done on this account. So we may go look up account transactions, which are past transactions we've categorized in Xero, or we can go to bank statements, which shows us the past bank data that has been imported. Under the second column is new. We can create new spend money and receive money transactions, and I'll explain further why you might use those, the spend money, receive money, and transfer money. But this is where you can make a manual transaction. Say you have a check that's coming in, you may use these functions for that. And then the third column you'll see is the reconcile column. So the reconcile account link is the same link as this button to reconcile 29 items. The bank rules link is where we can go set up rules. So as data gets imported, we can code those automatically. It's a really powerful feature I'll go into further down the line. And then you'll see this third link for the reconciliation report. That is the report you're going to run to see why these two balances don't match, or maybe does this statement balance reflect what your actual bank account balance is. You'll use this report for that, and I'll go into this detail a little bit more in the next video on what this reconciliation report is, how you run it, and how you're going to use it in your bookkeeping process. And finally, the fourth link is to import a statement. So if something is missing from a feed, if you need to manually import something, you can go ahead and use this link, and I'll probably do a quick video on how to do that as well. That should wrap up this dashboard video, and the last thing I'll say here is you can obviously see your checking account number and name at the bottom left, and if you need to edit anything on this account, you'll click that link. If you need to change the feed, if you need to change the name, or you need to change the account number, you can do that and click Save. That is a wrap for the dashboard. Very, very useful tool. It's basically the hub of Xero, and I tell people all the time, if you get lost or you're not exactly sure where to go in Xero, my first recommendation is go back to this dashboard, and from there you should pretty much be able to get to any major function you need to use in your business. I'll see you on the other video.